It was a fairly lengthy list that was issued by the Foreign Correspondents Club of China earlier this week. 31 tweets in all, each of them giving a different message, but calling for more transparency and clarity around coverage of all of the events leading up to the Olympic Games, which start on February the 4th, and of course then coverage of the Olympics themselves. So it's not just the foreign correspondents that are based inside China at the moment, but of course all of the international media travelling to Beijing that are still waiting to hear exactly what kind of rules and regulations will be in place, what sort of access they will have, and these are very big questions for covering an event as large as the Olympic Games.
Indeed. What has the IOC and China's response been so far? Have we heard from them?
No, very little in fact. The IOC has been remarkably quiet. You probably remember that before the Tokyo Olympic Games, which were delayed by a year and held in July, August this year, there were regular updates given by the organising committee and the chair of the Coordination Commission for the IOC, who was Australia's John Coates. We haven't had that same level of transparency from the Beijing organisers, but there might be a reason to that, and that is traditionally not until one Olympic Games has finished can the other one start giving regular updates. And because of the one-year delay in Tokyo, there's been a very small window. Everything's been jammed in to these few months before the Beijing Winter Games begin. That has been quite an issue because of the COVID restrictions as well.
Well, how is China's COVID policy going to factor into how these games are run?
Look, I think it's going to be really tense. There was very strict conditions in Tokyo, but the Games unfolded pretty much without hitch as far as Tokyo COVID concerns went. And this also brings in a political factor as well, because if Tokyo did so well, Beijing is going to want to do better. So they already have a very strict protocols in place at the moment for people going in and out of the country. There's very little travel unless you're a resident in Beijing. There also needs to be 14 to 21 days quarantine from whichever port you arrive into. So people are really not able to travel with any stopovers or any connecting flights because each stop requires another 14 to 21 day quarantine. But it's all of these sorts of questions that are still yet to be answered by the organising committee. There is a briefing this evening, in fact, in about half an hour's time, and I think many media representatives from around the world will be on that call.
OK, well, we look forward to be updated there. Now, Tracy, come February, it'll be some 14 years since Beijing hosted the Summer Games. A lot has changed since then within China and also how it sees itself within the international community. So these games are bound to be pretty different.
Absolutely. So in 2008, it really was a kind of coming out parade, if you like, hosting the world for the very first time, inviting everybody in, putting on an absolutely spectacular show that in many respects has been unrivalled by any of the games that have subsequently followed. But that was China on the rise. China now, under any measurement, is a superpower. They are not prone to listening anymore. They're in the position now where they can call the shots. So that negotiating arm that the media or the IOC might have once had doesn't exist anymore. And we're also seeing a situation where this is actually not being put on for the rest of the world. The Winter Olympics is being put on as part of a 4-point strategy, 4 policies inside China to develop and grow a winter sport industry. So that is facilities, it's construction, it's pastimes of the people, and they're looking at a market of about 300 million, and they're trying to bring economic progress and growth in areas that haven't traditionally had that. So it's a massive plan, a very strongly domestically focused plan.
And I understand some of the 2008 facilities have been transformed into venues for the Winter Olympics, so they haven't let them go to waste.
No, they haven't, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they've done that. Just as one very quick example, the Water Cube, we saw the swimming and the diving there in 2008. That is now the Ice Cube and will be the facility for curling come the Winter Games next year.
With less than 100 days to go, how are Australian athletes shaping up for the Winter Olympics and Paralympics? Will it be a big contingent?
It'll be a team of about 40. All of their preparation has also been hampered because of COVID and different restrictions, so athletes won't be able to get in there and test out the facilities unless there is a specified test event. In fact, there is one of those coming up in 2 weeks' time, and the luge team have gone over there to compete in that. They just arrived there yesterday. But yeah, so it'll be a smallish team hoping to come home with perhaps the best medal haul we've had at a Winter Olympics. But the difference also between summer and winter is that they keep competing on circuits through Europe because it's heading into winter now. And all of the competition continues. There can be late-minute call-ups, there can be last-minute withdrawals. So it really is one of those events where news will continue to unfold right up until the opening ceremony on February 4.
We look forward to getting those updates. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Yvonne.